This lady antshrike is a bird of thickets, especially along forest edges where it hunts for large insects and even small lizards. It's found from Guatemala southward to Ecuador, Bolivia, and Brazil. In the trees along the stream, we found a troop of Central American spider monkeys, including this pregnant female. She will have young every 2 to 4 years. Central American spider monkeys travel in troops of up to 35 and wander through the trees with daring jumps and by swinging on vines and limbs. A troop is quite exciting to see. They need large unbroken forests to do well, and they are seriously threatened by deforestation. They eat fruit, leaves, and flowers. My son spent some time on the bridge looking at leafcutter ants, and I crossed it for the last time as we began to wind down our stay at Los Centos. The following day we stayed on the grounds around the lodge and had great comparison views of greyhawk and roadside hawk. Both the greyhawk and roadside hawk prefer this type of open habitat, savannas and forest edges. Greyhawks will often sit like this waiting to ambush their prey. Their diet includes lizards, small mammals, birds, and larger insects. Its range extends from the southwest to northern Argentina. This race, Plagiodus, is found from here northward. The roadside hawk's range is a bit more limited than the greyhawk's. It's found from Mexico to northern Argentina. Its diet and habits are also similar to the greyhawk's. Both species prefer to stay in the canopy and rarely soar. A house wren is often separated into two species, the northern house wren and the southern house wren. If you prefer that classification, this would be the southern house wren, Musculus. The brown-crested flycatcher has a range which extends from the U.S. Southwest to northern Argentina. It prefers open areas and hawks for insects from mid-level perches. Like many flycatchers, it's quick to mob pygmy owls. It often bobs its head, reminding me of what I've seen pygmy owls do. American swallow-tailed kites, or simply swallow-tailed kites in some references, are found from the southeastern U.S. to northern Argentina. We often saw them soaring overhead, usually lower than the vultures. It's an omnivore and is reported to eat in flight, holding its food with one foot. The tropical kingbird is generally found from the southwestern U.S. to Argentina, although we occasionally have them in Oregon. They flycatch from open perches for all sorts of insects. They also eat a variety of berries. Great kiskadee seem to be especially prevalent around the grounds on this last day. There are 14 subspecies of variegated squirrel, and we saw several on this trip. The range of the variegated squirrel is limited to Central America, and the range of this subspecies is limited to southwestern Nicaragua and northwestern Costa Rica. The variegated squirrel eats a variety of seeds and fruits, is typically out and about during the day, and prefers to travel through the trees or along fence lines rather than on the ground. We finally had to leave this wonderful place and headed south to Santa Rosa National Park. Not a long drive at all. The main road into the park is paved, and around the hacienda we found bees, iguanas, and birds. The turquoise-browed motmot has a range which extends from Costa Rica northward to southeastern Mexico. As you can see here, its diet includes insects and spiders, but it eats small reptiles as well. It often swings its tail back and forth when perched. The turquoise-browed motmot nests in a burrow which is usually several feet deep. The behavior of this bird indicated that its nest was nearby, but we were unable to locate it. Here, like many other places in Costa Rica, we found hornet nests. There were reports of Africanized honeybees in the park, but we never saw any. Flowering bushes, vines, and trees can be found in the park, even during the dry season. Iguanas roamed about, munching on the tender leaves of trees or grasses. They were decidedly less aggressive than I've seen them in January. There are 40 species of trogon in the world. This species, the elegant trogon, is found from southern Arizona to Costa Rica. The perching behavior you see here is typical, and they are usually found higher in the canopy than some other species. The elegant trogon is an omnivore, eating a variety of berries and insects. The birds I've seen in Arizona seem to be more approachable than these. We ventured along the nature trail near the hacienda, and my son explored the dry stream beds. The pools of water did not attract as much activity as we had wished. As we wandered through this area, we found rufous nape wrens and a bat cave. The range of the rufous nape wren is restricted to central Mexico to Costa Rica. They eat a variety of insects, grubs, and spiders, which they often find by poking at the bark. There were supposedly 4 species of bats in this cave. We were not able to identify any to species, but it was an exciting experience. The white-nosed coati is also known as the coati mundi to many people. Its range extends from the southwestern U.S. to Colombia. There is a reddish form which has a range restricted to Yucatan. The white-nosed coati can be found on the ground or in trees. It's an omnivore, feeding on a variety of invertebrates and small vertebrates, as well as fruit. This animal was much healthier than the one we were to see at Monteverde a few days later. Some of the insects were difficult to find. This moth fluttered by and disappeared into the trunk of a tree. If we had not seen it land, we might not have found it. Venturing to the edge of the park, we eventually came to a spot where we had to back up. Heading back along the main road, we found some common ground doves. At our last stop in the park, we found the larger white-tipped dove. It frequents open areas and has a range which extends from South Texas to central Argentina. It's called the white-fronted dove in some sources. Their diet consists of seeds and some small insects, which they gather on the ground. The white-tipped dove is able to store a large number of seeds in its crop and grinds them in its gizzard. Because seeds are very dry, it must drink a great deal of water. as much as 10% of its body weight each day. It's able to suck water rather than scooping it up, as most other bird species do. The stripe-headed sparrow has a range which extends from northern Mexico to Costa Rica. It prefers brushy areas and second-growth forest. Its diet is similar to that of the white-tipped dove, but it lacks the dove's physical adaptations. They typically flock in small groups, maintaining contact with frequent chattering. The song of the banded wren resonated up and down the wash. It prefers brushy second growth. Its range extends from central Mexico to Costa Rica. It searches for its food on the ground and in brush, turning over leaves and litter to find insects and spiders. A rufous-capped warbler made a brief appearance, and a snake lurked in the brush. This creature was extremely difficult to see, and difficult to locate, even if you took your eye off of it for only a moment. Back in the open, a lizard was sunning itself. In the fields nearby, crested caracara were scratching for food. It's searching for a variety of animals, including rodents, frogs, and snakes. It has no preference as to whether or not the animal is alive when it's first located. The range of the crested caracara extends from the southern U.S. to the tip of South America. There are several other caracara species in South America. All of them prefer open areas, although they will perch in trees. Both an adult and an immature bird are shown hunting in this sequence. From Santa Rosa National Park, we headed south to Nicoya Peninsula, where we found ferruginous pygmy owl and groove-billed ani. The groove-billed ani is found in parts of the southern United States to northern Chile and Argentina. The similar smooth-billed ani has a comparable range. It's an omnivore, eating a variety of insects, small lizards, and berries, who will often forage with cattle, just like a cattle egret, waiting for grasshoppers and other insects to take flight. The ferruginous pygmy owl feeds on insects and small birds and lizards. It has a range which extends from the southwestern United States to northern Chile and central Argentina. It seems to prefer open woodlands and second-growth forest. We traveled onward to Samara, an area I did not find very appealing. In the village we found gray-breasted martin and cinnamon hummingbird perched on the wires. The range of the gray-breasted martin extends from northern Mexico to northern Argentina. It prefers open areas, flying from such perches to catch a full range of insects. The range of the cinnamon hummingbird extends from western Mexico to Costa Rica. It seems to prefer open areas and forest edges. Its diet includes nectar and probably insects. A short distance from our hotel, there was a small mangrove. On the way there, we found another subspecies of variegated squirrel. In the mangrove, we found this female green kingfisher. It was perched just a few feet above the water and would plunge into the water periodically, catching small fish and insects. Its range extends from the southern U.S. to central Chile and Argentina. A rose-throated Picard made a brief appearance as it searched for an insect lunch. It's found from the southwestern U.S. to Panama. Another species also found in the United States is the green heron, or in some references the green-backed heron. It was hunting for small fish and frogs, which it was feeding to its fledglings, which were nearby. Its range extends from North America to Panama. A few feet away we found a rufescent tiger heron. It's similar to the fasciated tiger heron we were later to find on the Caribbean slope. Its range extends from Honduras to northern Argentina. It extends its head diagonally when alarmed or when hunting. This bird was hunting and having little luck. On the small mud flat we found a willet and a spotted sandpiper, both of which are found in North America. The willet's range extends southward to northern Chile. It's hunting for small crabs and insects. It also eats small fish. The range of the spotted sandpiper extends southward to northern Chile and Argentina. It's one of the most widespread shorebirds in Costa Rica. Its diet is similar to that of the willet. Its bobbing motion is one of those diagnostic behaviors I love to see. Great kiskadees were also common in the mangrove and would occasionally fly out over the water to catch insects. Great-tailed grackles search for lunch in the mud below the mangroves. Leaving Samara, we headed to Palo Verde National Park. Although it's only 110 kilometers, there are portions of the drive which are slow, and there is a ferry crossing. It took us all morning to reach the rice fields at the edge of the park. In the fields, we found great egret, cattle egret, snowy egrets, wood storks, roseate spoonbills, and several other species. The great egret prefers this type of habitat. On this day, the farmers were mulching the rice fields with the tractor. In the process, they were maiming or killing frogs. It was a feasting day for the egrets. The great egret is found from southeastern Canada and the northern U.S. to southern Argentina. It's also widespread in the eastern hemisphere. The great egret is sometimes called the American or common egret, and some authorities place it in the Egrita or Ardea genus. The wood stork is one of two stork species found in Costa Rica, the other being the much larger jabiru. The wood stork is found from the southeastern U.S. to northern Argentina. This foraging behavior is typical of storks. They feed with their bills in the water, often slightly open. They're searching for fish, crustaceans, and frogs, any type of animal you can imagine in this water. They are feeding by touch, which is not that unusual. The bald head of the wood stork looks somewhat like that of a vulture, to which it is related. Sibley reports that wood storks, once they touch prey, are able to snap their bill shut in 25/100ths of a second, an extremely fast reaction time. Except in circumstances like this, great egrets space themselves out when feeding. The black-necked stilt is found in much of North America. Some authorities consider the black-winged stilt complex to be one species, with this bird being the subspecies found in North America. Other authorities separate the complex into as many as 5 species. This is the order we follow here. This spotted rail appears to have been injured by the tractor. During the time we watched, it hardly moved at all, despite the fact that it was in an open area. It feeds on insects and earthworms. Its range extends from central Mexico to northern Argentina. We saw the cattle egret foraging with horses at Los Centos. Here we were able to get a good idea of its size. There were birds in both breeding and non-breeding plumage at this site. The range of the roseate spoonbill extends from the southern U.S. to central Argentina. This bird is hunting for small fish or amphibians, or perhaps aquatic insects. The sweeping motion it makes with its bill serves two purposes. First of all, it increases the likelihood of coming into contact with prey. Secondly, the motion causes prey at the bottom to be sucked upward, again increasing the likelihood of contact. The range of the snowy egret is extensive. It's found from the northern U.S. to northern Argentina. Their diet consists primarily of fish. The neck bones of egrets and herons are longer than their necks. The extra curves in the neck bones allow the birds to strike swiftly. Along the edge of the rice fields, we found green heron and red-winged blackbird. We are at the southern edge of the blackbird's range here. It's found as far north as Alaska and eats both insects and seeds. This male is defending a breeding territory which includes several females. The male will chase off other males, and the females will chase off other females. As we got closer to the park, we found limpkin and northern jacana. The limpkin was found feeding in tall grass, where it was most likely hunting for snails. It is found from the southeastern U.S. to northern Argentina. It's the only species in the family Armedia. There are 4 subspecies. Prior to 1934, there were 2 recognized species. In that year, they were lumped into one. A limpkin can remove a snail from its shell in less than 20 seconds. It has several bill adaptations which allow it to accomplish this feat. The northern jacana is found as far north as southern Texas and as far south as Panama. There are 8 species of jacana in the world. Jacanas are called lily trotters in some parts of the world. Their long toes allow them to walk across lily pads in search of insects, small fish, seeds, and snails. Females have breeding ranges which include the ranges of several males. After she lays a clutch of eggs, the males take over all rearing duties. Flooding and a wide range of predators lead to high loss rates for jacana young. In the field next to the slough we found black-bellied whistling duck and solitary sandpiper. The black-bellied whistling duck is found as far south as northern Argentina and as far north as southern Texas. They prefer wet habitat like marshes and flooded pastures, where they often hunt for insects, leaves, seeds, and shoots, usually by walking about rather than by swimming or diving. They typically feed at night. Black-bellied whistling ducks nest in tree cavities, as do wood ducks, golden eyes, bufflehead, and some merganser species. This green heron was feeding a few feet away. It was a really exotic locale, with storks, egrets, herons, ducks, and many other species. The solitary sandpiper is typically found in habitat like this, a flooded field or marsh. The body bobbing that you see in these clips is also typical. Its range extends from Alaska to Argentina. Its diet is not so varied, however. It's generally limited to insects and small crustaceans. Its name is descriptive of its social habits. There are 2 described races. Just inside the park we found these double-striped thick-knees. Its range extends from Mexico to northern South America and is sometimes called the Mexican thick-knee. The thick-knee relies on concealment rather than flight and can stand motionless for long periods. even when a possible lunch is perched on their heads. There are 4 identified races, but they can be difficult to distinguish except by range. Near the headquarters we found another ferruginous pygmy owl and streaked-back orioles. The streak-backed oriole has a fairly limited range, being found from northwestern Mexico to Costa Rica. It feeds on a variety of insects which it gathers from tree foliage and bark. Leaving the park, we stopped for lunch by a river. Birding along the river was poor at midday, but my son was able to study leafcutter ants at his leisure. This is Bob Barnes for Natural Video and the Birding Video Store. I hope you have enjoyed our journey through the Costa. In our next volume, we visit the highlands.